Here we are, reaction videos from a PI's point of view, my perspective on what are these current cases? I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to give me. I have no idea what's coming up. And we've got Yari behind the camera, so she's going to be giving me the article. So what's the first one?
Iran and China use private detectives to spy on dissidents in America.
Ooh, as a private investigator, and you had somebody with deep pockets who was like, look, we want you to monitor these people. We want to see what they're doing. We want to see where they're going. It's a judgment call. And what we try to do over here is we try to like discern, do you have a court case open? Because if you got a court case open, like fair game. It's the non-court cases ones, other than like the cheating spouse. This one though, where you've got China. So I would imagine you would get like a shadowy phone call from some business organization. They're not going to say they're from the Chinese government. They're not going to say they're from the Chinese Communist Party. They're not going to do that. Maybe I want to do a little background on the client. We do that. We'll do backgrounds on the client. We'll see what they're all about, because you never know. If China or Iran came to me and wanted me to spy on dissidents here in the US, no way, not in a million years. But would there be PIs that would do it? Yeah, probably. All right, what's the next one, Yari?
The Idaho murder suspect.
Oh, you're telling me the killer hired a private investigator?
His parents.
Oh, his parents did. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Those were the first types of cases I took when I started out as a PI, because I used to be a cop. Everybody's entitled to a defense. 100% they should be hiring a private investigator. Do I think that it's going to matter in this case? Probably not. Now, you never know. Innocent until proven guilty, right? But this one definitely looks like he did the deed. So we'll see. Third one.
Paul Pelosi attack.
Oh my goodness,
Cam
you're going to get me into political territory. We can't show it because of copyright issues and whatnot. Yeah, Paul Pelosi looks like he's wearing like a long sleeve button-up shirt, and he may have boxers on. The attacker's standing there. He's got like a windbreaker on, and he's got shorts, and he's wearing tennis shoes. Paul Pelosi's got bare feet on. Looks like there's some talk in here. Oh, look, so we got a hammer in the hands. Wow. If it were me, and I had have shown up when I put my flashlight on the bad guy, and he's got a hammer in his hands, I'd be pointing my gun at him, and I'd be telling him right then and there, hey, like, drop the hammer. Maybe the cops did that in this. I'd have to listen to it and see. And if he didn't drop the hammer, and then all of a sudden now they start kind of struggling over it, I'm gonna say that I'm probably gonna be shooting the bad guy at that point. Because there's enough distance between the two of them in this that you could have, easy, clear shot. I would have dumped this guy. So the fact that cops did this, I don't know if it's a good thing, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I'm seeing some officer safety issues here more than anything else. Oh my God, holy crap. Oh, they should have shot him, oh my God, okay. I'm literally shocked right now the cops did not shoot this guy. They start to argue over, they start to tussle over the hammer. He raises the hammer up, bad guy raises it, and he makes a swing towards Paul Pelosi. And then the cops run in and do their thing. They have their hands are free in this picture. I'm looking at the cops on the ground with the suspect, which means they didn't have their guns in their hands when this happened. I'm shocked. So that takes me back to my cop days big time. When I see stuff like this, it really kind of gets my heart rate going, because I see myself in that situation, right? And I can say that the cops screwed that one up. They didn't even put their flashlight on the guy right away either, on the suspect right away. As soon as I saw that hammer, it would have been guns out. As soon as the struggle started there, bad guy would have been dumped. I would have dumped him.
So this next article that we have is Alec Baldwin.
Oh, Alec, the shooter Baldwin. When this happened, for some reason in my pea brain, I was thinking there's no way Alec Baldwin is going to get convicted on this thing. He's probably not even going to get charged because it's Hollywood. Then I realized, of course he got charged, because it's New Mexico, number one. Number two, there's actually a very strong possibility with the New Mexico jury that Alec Baldwin is going to get convicted on this thing. There is a very strong possibility that could happen. A lot of guys in Hollywood, they don't go down. I give Alec a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps it is his final responsibility to make sure that that gun isn't loaded with proper rounds, but even if Alec Baldwin saw a real round in the gun, would Alec Baldwin even know that it's a real bullet? And he's probably handed these guns off throughout his career to somebody else who takes care of it all the time, and you just get complacent. The real person who's culpable here is the armor, the onset armor. Apparently, I saw somewhere that she had been receiving emails about safety. Perhaps she's way more culpable in this than Alec is. He's such a loudmouth. It's there's a little bit of poetic justice there. Unfortunately, somebody got killed, but hey, that's Hollywood for you. All right, give me the next one, Yari.
A TikToker faked having cancer and scammed GoFundMe donors out of thousands.
Now, here's the first thing that stands out to me on this one. She's 19 years old. Wow, she's starting young. So I can see where people would be inclined to give to her. She is a young, vibrant looking brunette, not bad looking, good looking girl, good looking woman. Don't want to offend anybody. I could see where you would run across that photo and you'd be like, oh, I feel so bad for her. Everybody wants to trust. You want to trust the person. You feel bad for them. They tell a good story, good sob story. 99% of people who get defrauded that call us did not do the background ahead of time. My rule of thumb is this: if you're gonna get into business with somebody, or you're gonna give somebody a large amount of money, and they are older, and you've never worked with them before, you definitely wanna do a background. The likelihood that you're gonna find something on a person like that is pretty high. And when I say find something, it means you're gonna find that they're good, or you're gonna find that they're bad. Like the older somebody is, the more they've been around, the more fraud they could have committed, or they could have a solid work history. Young people though, that's the difficult one. When you get somebody who's in their like early 20s, mid 20s, it's real difficult to do backgrounds on those people because they're starting out their criminal career. They might not have much going on, right? Especially if they're dealing in the fraud realm. So if you see somebody you've never met before and they're asking you for money, I would say no. As much as your heart says, hey, I really want to give this person some money, I would say no, don't do it. If you feel really, really compelled, you don't even need a private investigator for this, just let your fingers do the walking. Go online, find somebody who might be associated with the person and call them up and see if she's for real or not. But generally speaking, don't give money to people you don't know. That's the number one rule.
His wife, whose husband drove Tesla off cliff, told paramedics he intentionally tried to kill us.
Didn't they find, so this is the one where the guy drives his whole family off of like a 200-foot cliff. They lived. They were in a Tesla, right?
Yeah.
They lived. But there was something else that they had, apparently, that said that he did this intentionally, that he drove her off the cliff, allegedly. 3 counts of attempted murder. Wow, the kids only sustained bumps and bruises, no injuries. Whoa! What's to say on this one? This one is one where you've got a clearly disgruntled husband/father who is just, if he's gonna go, he's gonna take everybody with him. And this is one of those acts, these crimes of passion. It's a vindictive crime. He wanted to not only hurt his wife and his kids, but he's also trying to hurt his wife's family. And little did he know, if you want the safest car in the world, Tesla, all day long, good to go. That's the learning lesson from this. All right. So now what you're gonna do, Yari, is you're gonna give me 3 cases that I've worked on, right? All right, go for it. So what's the first one?
The police assault with a chair case.
This one was a good one. This one was one where the client was with his boyfriend on a drug bender. There was an altercation between the two of them. Cops were called. The suspect and the victim are outside, but they're separated by the cops. Just think of like a square courtyard, pretty big, like 30, 40 feet across. My client is on one end of the courtyard. There's a cop in the middle. The victim is at the other end of the courtyard. The victim is chipping away, right? He's chipping away at the client. So the client picks up a chair and throws it all the way across the courtyard at the victim. The cop is like, he's not really in the path of the chair. He's like, he's to the side. The client gets charged with assault on an officer. We were very lucky in this case because the neighbor had their Ring camera going at that time. And the cops had their body cams on too. But it really was the Ring camera that made the day for us because you could see where everybody was standing and whatnot. I took the video, looked at it a million times, figured out where people were standing, then I went to the scene, marked out where everybody was standing and whatnot, and it was clear as day. The client was throwing the chair at the victim and not at the cop. The cop just happened to be in the same general area. So we got those charges dropped. And that was an excellent day for that case. So good case. I enjoyed that one. You go.
So this is the case of the teacher who was accused of sexual assault.
What happened? This one was like a total one-off. Through our investigation, we found out that the principal actually was like a legit man-hater. She hated men, and she particularly hated this guy. It was all made up. Guy actually went to trial and was acquitted at trial. Really in large part to the digging that we did and the various people that we spoke to who all pointed to her being the type of person that she is, the fact that she hated him, and there was no evidence whatsoever of any sexual assault or anything like that happening. So yeah, that was a good one, really good one.
You were tasked with determining if a man was cheating on his wife, of which he was living separately from. You guys had a camera and a plant near his apartment.
Okay, I do remember this one. So the wife and the husband were separated. There was a chance that they could get back together again. She said, I want to do some surveillance on him and see, what's going on. But he lived in this apartment complex. There was like nowhere to like sit on the guy. You could not sit on him. It was just a crazy setup there. I love this one. It was one of my favorite ones. I walked around the apartment complex and I saw that people had potted plants out. I got a potted plant and I built a base for it. And in the base, I put a covert camera inside the base. So I had two bases built, one that was a real base with the camera, one that was a fake base, no camera. So I put the fake one out and let it sit there for a few days to make sure nobody moved it, nothing happened. I went back and nobody had touched it. It was still good to go. So then I swapped out the bases and I put the base with the camera in there. Boy, it didn't take long. It was a prostitute. It had a prostitute that would come over to the house. And he would come and go with her and stuff. It was awesome. So that was a really good one. The wife needed to know if she should get back together with him or not, and clearly that was a no-go. So that was a good one for sure.